Hey girls, it's Miss Veronica. I hope we're all doing well. While we're staying at home and away from our friends, I thought it would be really cool for us to become more connected to nature to make us feel better. And we could do that by doing what lots of famous scientists have done in the past, by observing the animals in our environment. Our environment's a little chunk of world we live in. So right now in my chunk of world, the animal that I see the most in my environment is my dog Katsu. I thought it would be even more cool to have some birds visiting me outside every day. So we can do that by building our very own bird feeders and seeing what kind of birds visit, what birds live in my environment, what do they do day to day, how often will they visit, and we're just gonna need a handful of supplies. So go ahead and try and collect a plastic water bottle with a lid. It doesn't have to be water actually. 2 sticks or dowel rods. You can use dowel rods, these are skewers, chopsticks, pencils, anything works. You're gonna need something pokey like a tack. I have a pin here with a sharp backing, some sharp scissors, and let's think about what birds eat. Birds eat lots of things, but one thing we're going to use for our bird feeder in this video is unsalted sunflower seeds, and they can have the shells on. Just make sure they don't have salt, and let me know what else you think birds eat. So we can get started whenever you have these supplies. Let's do it. Okay, so now that we have all our supplies, let's get started. On my water bottle, I've gone ahead and marked where we're going to make various holes with our pin, and we're going to use our scissors to widen those holes. So let's start with towards the bottom, we're going to poke a hole towards the bottom here, and then on the opposite side, we'll do another hole where this dot is. So go ahead and puncture where on the bottom, 2 holes, flip it, and do the other side. And I want to know what kind of birds you think will be in your area, what you think they'll look like. Also, for the poking holes, make sure you grab an adult if you don't feel comfortable doing it. I just want you to be really safe and don't hurt yourself, but just make sure you're being careful. We're going to widen each hole so it's just a little bit smaller than our sticks. And I have these really thin dowel rods, so I'm going to keep my holes pretty small. So I think in my area, the birds are, there's a lot of brown birds. I don't know, maybe they're sparrows, maybe they're swallows, I'm not quite sure. So I have this hole here and this hole here. Now we're gonna spin it 90 degrees and we're gonna go a little bit higher. So my other hole's here, we're gonna go a little bit higher and make this another set of holes that are opposite each other. So go ahead and poke another set of holes. And then how can we keep track of the birds that are using our bird feeder? Should we keep track of them or should we just give them their privacy? What could keeping track of them tell us? So we have our sets of holes, and I'm going to poke through one hole to the other end. So that's one stick through. And then we'll do the bottom step. And then, does anyone know what these sticks are going to be for? You see how they're going crisscross? If you look from the bottom, they should make an X. I'm going to cut off the pointy end. There, I cut off the pointy ends. These sticks, I don't know if you guessed it, are going to be the perch for the bird to hang off of. If you've ever seen a bird perch, it just hangs its little feet on a stick. So now that we have those 2 perches in, we're going to go about 4 centimeters up from each stick. And I've drawn dots. So each perch, you're going to go about 4 centimeters up. And you're going to make another hole a little bit bigger. So you want it to be big enough that the bird can get the food out of the holes, but not so big that the food falls through. So think about whatever kind of food you have. Okay, so I'm going to poke another hole. also wondering, you know, if I put this outside, there are other animals besides birds that live in our environment, right? So I'm wondering, do birds have to compete with other animals for food? So what other animals are there? There are squirrels. They also eat seeds and nuts, I believe. What other animals live in your environment? So if they do have to compete for food with other animals, I'm just using the scissors to widen that hole. So if you could see, made it wider. And if they do have to compete with other animals for food, how does our bird feeder feed birds and not other animals? Do you think our bird feeder will feed other animals as well, or is there something about our bird feeder that only feeds birds, and that specifically feeds birds and not other animals? I wonder. So now that we've got our holes made and widened, you can see this one's pretty wide. We're going to fill this up with seeds eventually, but first let's make some holes for letting air through so everything can drain properly. So I've made 4 dots on the bottom, if you can see that. And we're going to poke 4 drainage holes. And these don't need to get widened. At the top, I've drawn another 4 little holes to let air in so everything can flow and drain. Okay, so we are going to cut a piece of string so we can hang this up high. So I think hanging it up high, we'll put it in a place where mainly birds will reach. So this is my string. And let's fill up some food in here. So now you can see we're full of seeds. Our seeds are past the openings, but it's not all the way filled to the top. You can put in more if you'd like. Some fall out, just put them back in. And to finish up our bird feeder, we're going to take our twine or our string, lay it across the top of the opening, and then we are going to screw on the top, and we're going to screw it on tightly. So now we have our bird feeder attached to a string, and we're going to go hang this up. So I'll be right back and I'll show you where I hang it. Hey, so I am all done with that bird feeder. I hung it up outside. It's up pretty high. It's got 4 perches and those little holes, if you could see it, it's over there. So hopefully that keeps away other animals. Let me know if you want to change the design and it protects the bird food from other animals more, or if you change the food inside and you start to get a new kind of bird visiting you. I think that'd be awesome to know. So please use this email below to send me a photo of what your finished bird feeder looks like, and send me a picture of you working on it or any other bird friends that you get visiting you, because that would be pretty cool to know too. So I hope you had fun with this activity, and we'll see you next time.